So if you're telling me that's unfair, I'm buying that. I agree with that. Unfortunately, I'm not on the Sentencing Guidelines Commission, and I'm not in Congress. I'm praying that the First Step Act is just the first step to trying to create equity in sentencing. I'm praying that someday the United States of America is not known as the country that has more human beings in prison than any other country in the world. I am praying that someday there will be a realization that if you grow up and you're black, there is an 85% greater probability that you're going to end up serving some time in jail than if you grow up being white. It is wrong.
The G.O.A.T versus Byrd, meaning the G.O.A.T versus the government, U.S., it came about, and that was an actual experience. That's just how I felt, and I just really wanted people to see the side of, it's three sides to a story, basically. You got the people that's coming with the warrant and what they think of you, and then you got what you look like actually on black and white, which is the warrant, which is a discovery, which is people telling on you, which is a picture that established for the people to arrest you. And then you have the third side, which is actually the truth, which your family see you as, your children see you as, your mom see you as a son, your friends, you know what I'm saying, who you really are in your community, your daily, who your loved ones see you as. That side never really gets shown, but it's hard to paint that side when you fit the demographics. Dreads, gold teeth, you know, you got caught with these drugs, you know, you know these type of drug dealers, you know these type of felons, but what are you supposed to do when you from a poverty area that's surrounded by people that's in your family that been arrested, people that live on your street that been arrested? The options are limited, you know, so they automatically make me a criminal because I affiliate or I'm kin or friend to someone that have felony charge. You automatically throw me in the basket, and that's just not what really people are. We all entitled to mistakes. The thing with America is, to me, is personally, I just feel America love the bad guy. Long as the bad guy cheat, steal, murder, rob, kill, sell drugs, abuse the system to get ahead, it's fine unless you're black. When you're black, it's ultimate punishment. It's ultimate, you know, no statutes of limitation. It's max.
Non-violent offenders sentenced under tough guidelines that critics say send too many people to prison for too long.
Got a gun, you commit a felony, 10 years. We already have it 5 years. Minimum mandatory. Judge can't say, you know, you had it in your pocket, you never intended to use it, we're only going to give you 1 year. Judge has to say 5 years.
It's a minimum mandatory immediately. How do these things get passed? How do these laws get passed? But you got to start. If you really want a war on drugs, you don't start in the minority community. You don't start with the local drug dealer. You really want a war on drugs, you know where the drugs come from. You can go, you know, straight to the source and really bomb the source. You can go straight to the source and really capture the source. We don't own the plane, trains, boats, ships. We don't own that. We don't own the boat of the drugs that's getting pushed and pumped into our community. Some of us lean to that just to get ahead for a better opportunity in life. You know, it's not that you want to seek out and destroy, and then, I mean, it's not an excuse. Most people that do drugs, this is something that they optionally choose to do. You're not taking no one hostage. I'm not saying selling drugs is right. That's not what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, you have to provide. You have to put food on the table. When the government is giving you no options, these laws don't abide by their agreements. The Constitution is a contradiction. What are you supposed to do? You supposed to starve? It's called survival, man. And I'm not saying that you have to survive off selling drugs or you have to survive off crime. But what do you do when you don't start on a solid foundation or a solid platform of benefits of inheritance? And everything was built in this country off of black people, but we received scraps off of everything. Then we sit in these courts and we go fight for our lives. Scariest thing I ever had to do and the hardest thing that I ever had to do in my life, man, was go pick out a casket for my brother. Literally pick out colors and caskets and obituaries for my brother, my loved one. Someone I lost, I know, 20 plus years of my life. They don't know how they feel. See, they brothers don't never get murdered they don't know how that feels. So I can sit here and tell you, hey, my brother got murdered, and it go over your head. But until you actually in my shoes, and your brothers will never get murdered because your community is not structured like mine. That's a forever pain. That's a forever hurt. They skip right past that like we magical and we built for it. But you know what? We are. We are. Only way that they know that they can communicate out of hate, out of frustration, out of bias is when they got you in handcuffs to where you have to answer simple things such as, hey man, I got this tattoo right here, or I've been growing my hair for this long. They naturally curious, and it's a natural jealousy, it's a natural envy, it's a natural scale that we have to balance with these guys behind these badges, behind these laws, behind these judge roles, behind these penitentiary walls. It's just, I'm not a threat, but I gotta wear the mask out of being a threat. And that's what hurt the most, because you see I'm not this, and you see I'm not giving you that, but the only time you can communicate with me is when I'm oppressed though. We the creator, we make the cool, we are marketable, we make the money. But at the same time, we subject for the suspect. We have to be the threat that's sellable. And I think it's getting played out, though. Every time politics run, they always try to play the vote off of fear. We're getting tough on crime. Really, it's really no crime. I done lived in a crime era. I done lived in a poverty city, a city full of crime. I understand why it's crime. You put any group of race and strip them from all their opportunity, all their options, and they gonna behave on a survival type of mentality. It don't matter whether it's a neighborhood full of Asians, a neighborhood full of European, a neighborhood full of Italian, a neighborhood full of Hispanic community. If you strip them and fill drugstores, liquor stores, guns, and poor schooling, poor options, deny them loans, to where they have to forcefully have to live and raise families in these type of communities, that's exactly what you're gonna get in the end result. But you flip the script and you give all these beautiful up and coming young black kids, and because they very educated, they very intelligent group of people. Just is any race with the right resources can be useful, but don't deny us of our resources and then punish us to the ultimate extent. The end game is ultimate, man. The Lord has to say so in that. What's now first shall come last, and what's last shall come first. This is a temporary life, man. You got to understand that, and you really have to accept that. Right now, it's sad because we're living in a time where man is putting more faith in man than they put more faith in God. You see people ride around with political stickers and flags of both parties, left or right, on a vehicle, and won't even get up in the morning and thank God publicly. Don't even take the time to even pray, meditate, and just be thankful for all that you have right now. So, if you put God back in your life and leave him the ultimate decision maker, you'll be fine no matter what you're facing. A lot of people don't have no faith, so that's why they run and follow. They follow because they don't have faith. See, when you got faith, you'll never fold. It strike different. It strike down the opponent, man. And that's just where I'm at right now, man. My choice of environment, I don't get to choose because this life was never promised to me to be a smooth ride. And anytime you got strong faith, you got a strong battle ahead of you. And I'm just on the battlefield now. We gonna win the war, but I'm on this battlefield right now, and like I say, we gonna sacrifice to lead her. And there's no need to fear death, because when you got faith, he gonna take the sting out of that anyway. And I just think that the character that I have, me personally, I think God put me in the ruggish and the rumble, because I got to be the light for them guys, because that's what I come from. A lot of people not gonna understand that the best teacher is off experience. So I got souls to save just as well as I'm getting mine saved. That's my job to do her. When my work done, It's more life ahead.
We gotta say amen. Thank you for the food today. Amen.
Woke up to the U.S. Marshals outside my door, 10 in the morning, knocking as I answered. A white man with a questionable, plumb dumb ass look on his face, asking for a Chris. I'm like, Chris, thinking out loud. Man, that no damn Chris live here. I shut the door so damn aggressively, thinking to myself, he just woke my daughter up with this stupid ass shit. As my son continued his homeschooling on the computer, even he felt the awkwardness. I laid back down riddled, not even 30 minutes. A knock with a bullhorn, calling out my first and my last to come out and surrender. I was surrounded, so make it easy on myself. Feds outside my door. As I exit the house, I kiss my daughter on her head. Look my son in the face with confusion across my face. Telling him everything will be alright, just staying here, it'll be safe, buddy. Walking out, my heart pounding, but I'm not feared at all. Rifles raised at a black man with dreads covered with tattoos. I can see the tensions on the triggers, focus stirs, yelling with weapons, some with shields, asking me to kneel down to the concrete. As I approach them step by step, I slowly, interlocking my fingers, resting on my dreads, on my head, I feel the metal shackles pinch each wrist with pressure. As they begin asking me who's home, I reply, my children, my son, my daughter, 8 years old and 6 months old. The only thing I can think of feeling helpless to them, with cuffs around my wrists and ankles now all shackled from waist to feet like a slave catcher. Begin entering my home. 3 officers yelled, clear. As I waited, they replied. I asked to call my wife to aid my children. A tall officer wished to joke and jive with me, as if I hadn't even been arrested. He asked about my hair, my tattoos, specifically the goat over my eyebrow. That goat on your left eyebrow. Are you really the goat? Are you really the greatest of all time? Asking me grinning. I replied humble as ever. Yes, I am. They brought me the phone and I dialed my wife, Carrie. She picked up on the second ring. I explained what had happened briefly as possible as I can. She remained calm as ever. Not even less than 10 minutes she arrived with my oldest daughter, Summer J, my sugar mama. I asked them to block me and turn me, man, so my sugar mama didn't have to see her daddy in handcuffs. I knew it would break her heart forever. At this point, I'm feeling and thinking, who, what, when, and why, and what the fuck did just happen? How did this even come from? Funny thing about these situations, you never know who to underestimate. The ride downtown was so fucking awkward. Just don't fall. It was fucking with me the whole time because I'm sure and certain this situation ain't adding up with my daily. So the officers asked questions about music, sports, food, and goofy other shit. As I sat in silence, spaced out, looking out at the sky, as we arrived to a gated entry, thinking to myself, I've been working way too fucking hard to see all this shit crumble. Worst feeling in the world, I felt. As I felt everybody around me, me especially, my brother instantly heart ached and anger built inside me. Me began thinking, talking to God openly and honestly, praying for him to shield me because I know I've been in bumpy roads before. Just when I thought shit was rough, it just got even rougher on the kid, you dig? Still remaining solid, ready to face whatever's ahead of me. I pray to my Father for peace, freedom, and understanding, and almost all protection. Ain't nothing like not knowing what's awaiting you, especially when it's pertaining your life. I just remember thinking, I just want to see my kids, man, and hug them real tight. Feel that real love once again. This is exactly how I felt, man, when the fucking feds was outside my fucking door.